The regular council meeting for Monday, February 23rd, 2026, 6 p.m. The city clerk, call the roll call.
Councilman Gott. Councilman Gott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes.
Here.
Councilman Polson.
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman. Here. Councilwoman Brown. Councilman Phillips.
Maybe come on here.
Twitchell. Councilman Sutter.
There being a forum, I'll call this meeting to order. Please stand and rise for the invocation. Councilman Olson, would you lead us in the invocation?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and serve Louisiana this evening. And Lord, we just ask that you give us a mind of unity and clarity as we work together for the common good of everyone who calls Louisiana, Missouri home. And it's in Jesus' name I ask this. Amen.
Amen. Councilman Phillips will lead us in prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For comments from the public, any items regarding on the agenda?
How come you only have to ask about things on the agenda? Why can't you just ask about anything?
You go ahead and, just for the record, state your name and where you reside, please.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know, my name is Steve Henry. And I'm asking again, why can't people just come up and ask what they want? Why do they have to ask what's on the agenda? When I started doing this 13 years ago, they give you 10 minutes to speak. Well, I started asking questions, then you only got 5 minutes. Now you're gonna get 3. We tried to cut it down to 2, but made them raise it back to 3. I'd ask questions for other people. They told me I couldn't ask no questions unless it concerned me specifically. So they make all kinds of new rules and everything. I just want to know, how come you can't speak about anything you want? Why does it have to be something on the agenda?
So your discussion item is not on the agenda. It is in our city ordinance. That's where your answer is. You got anything else for the?
So you're violating everybody's rights by the city ordinance somehow.
Is that all you have to say, Mr. Henry?
So everybody, you know, people answer. Yeah.
Thank
Well, I
you.
got 2 more meetings, should be gone.
Is there anybody else from the public regarding any item on the agenda? Hearing none. Approval of the agenda items. Are there any corrections or amendments to the agenda?
So will we approve? Second.
Is there any consideration moving resolution 3-0 or -2026 to closed session?
Yeah, I think maybe we might want to do that, since it does kind of, at least indirectly deal with it.
You want to amend?
I'll make a motion. I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to move 3-2026 to closed session as it's dealing with salary issues.
There's a first and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. No other concerns with the agenda will stand as amended. Approval of minutes.
So we approve as a bundle.
We have a first and second approving the minutes as a slate. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. So before I get into my next item here that's on the list, I do want to advise the public and the council that we do have our final audit for fiscal year 2024 through our independent audit certification process through Tim Fitzgerald. The City of Louisiana received a clean audit, confirmed full legal compliance and ended the year financially stable with over 3.2 million in cash and restricted reserves. So, that audit will be finalized at our next regular, council meeting. Will be, pushed out for, review and acceptance. Council, at our last, regularly, held meeting, our city director, or excuse me, city administrator, and also our enterprise director had brought forth the snow event that happened last month. And it was declared that we would give recognition to a lot of our city employees tonight. So when I get ready to go through this and I state your name, if you would, just for the record and for the face-to-face recognition, when I state your name, I'd like you to just come up and just form a line here if you would, okay, when I go through this. So recognition, I'm going to start off with Clinton Keller, Fire Chief and Enterprise Director. And some individuals may not have been able to make it tonight, but Fire Department, Ryan Chapman, Clayton Allspaw, Matthew Marita, Janelle Burse, Howard Alexander, Mark Starman, Alec Holston, Amber McIntyre, Jeff Snyder, Cameron Allspaw, Charlie Smith, Corey Hoffman, Gene Trainer, Josh Blair, Brent Gilmore, Zach Megan, Sean Gentile, and Haley Marita. So distribution, Josh Blair, which is already standing up, Brandon Hatfield, Mark Starman, which is already standing up, water plant, Robert Morgan, Jeff Snyder's already standing up, Don Malloy, Trent Shin, and also want to James Patrick with the street department. Lincoln Price, street department. Sean Miner. Shannon Shanks. And now I have your name on the list. Timothy Clayton. So, council and the public, I'm doing this tonight on our behalf of the council. To want to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank the dedicated employees and volunteers who serve our community every day. Your work often happens behind the scenes and in difficult conditions, but it is essential to keeping our city safe and functioning. To our fire department, your recent response to the structure fire during the extreme cold with temperatures at -15 degrees truly demonstrated your professionalism. toughness, and commitment to protecting the lives and property of our citizens. While most of us were focused on staying warm that evening, indoors, you were outside performing dangerous and demanding work without hesitation. To our streets department and distribution crews, the same weekend and that evening brought significant snowfall and a major water main break. Your teams worked long hours in harsh weather conditions to clear our streets, restore water service, and to keep the community moving. These are not easy tasks, especially in severe weather conditions that you endured. Yet you showed up and got the job done. To our water plant staff, while these events were unfolding, you were also working through challenging conditions. At the plant itself was starting to freeze up. Maintaining operations under those circumstances takes vigilance, skill, and dedication. And your efforts ensured our community continue to have safe and reliable water service. On behalf of the city and the city council, thank you for your hard work, your teamwork, and your dedication. Our community is stronger and safer because of each and every one of you. So everyone, please join me in giving these departments and individuals a well-deserved round of applause. Clinton or on camera, if you have anything else, say it. You can.
I don't think I do. Thank you guys again. And
They don't go unrecognized, and if there's anything that we can do on your behalf, please let us know. You have a voice here. All right, you can stay for the rest of the show, or you're free to go if you'd like. Administrator?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for the recognition for the employees. Fortunately, I don't have anything nearly as easy to listen to. I just have mainly a bunch of numbers to go over. So I'm going to jump right into it. General update. I was able to attend the 2026 Missouri Municipal League legislative. We went over a bunch of various high impact bills that will affect our city to one degree or another. I went over a couple of them that we had discussed at the last conference I'd gone to. We just went and discussed them to a higher degree, had panelists come and the professionals in their field. Each panel was made up of a local municipal official, a county official, and then a subject matter expert to see how various things made to the state legislature could affect us to one degree or another. At this time, the items of high concern that I bring to the county passed don't look like they're going to be passed. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything in particular for us to worry about going through the legislature. I was able in my time there, I learned of a bill that is passing through the Missouri Senate at this time to allow for public entities to post public notices on their websites. And so currently as the bill was written last week, it only allows for counties to do that. And so I talked with a couple different state legislators, representatives, and a couple state senators, and I was able to get them to add in municipalities. So should this bill go through, we'll be able to post public notices on our website as an official form of communication to the public, rather than having to pay fees for the newspaper or, to post them. And I included in here that in 2025, we spent $4,163.56 on those types of postings. So if this bill is passed, as it currently stands in the legislature, that's how much we could stand to save on a yearly basis. Again, that doesn't seem like much in the scheme of a $3.2 million budget, but every penny counts. Keeping with the previous council meeting, I had discussed the last couple of conferences I had gone to. I want to inform the taxpayers of how much this conference cost. It cost $512.25 in total. The conference itself was $170, and the hotel was $342.25. So that was the cost associated with that trip. Next, the Chamber of Commerce, Missouri Economic Development, and I have been working very closely together to sit down. We already have a number of meetings scheduled to sit down with local employers and economic necessities. And so what that will look like is Louisiana Steel, County Market, the hospital, Wayne B. Smith, Dino Nobel. We're going to sit down with them and see what challenges specifically that they're facing. And then after we meet with 20 or 30 of the highest impact employers and services in our area, then we're going to sit down and develop a plan to see how we can address the majority of problems that they're facing to help kickstart some more economic activity in Louisiana. Moving on, I sent an email this morning about the street sweeper, but I wanted to bring it to the attention of, officially to the attention of the council and then to the attention of the public. For those that don't know, the street sweeper spontaneously burst into flames. I think it was the 10th, so that was 13 days ago. It was declared a total loss. We worked with the adjuster and the insurance. Details of that were sent individually. The details of which I sent out an email this morning. But we have already looked and we've prepared a proposal for a new street sweeper, going with financing due to the exorbitant amount of how much street sweeper costs. If anyone's familiar with that, it's about $250,000. And so I should have a list of compiled financing options at the next council meeting. I will most likely ask Mayor Carter if he can call a special council meeting to handle that. So at this time, that's all I have for the street sweeper. Next, I have the library update. The library was open 21 days in January with 317 in-person patrons, 64 phone calls, 14 new library cards, 51 computer-only patrons, and 11 community events. The license office downstairs has been open 11 days so far in February and has generated $3,139 in fees across 226 transactions. Building off of the report for the license office I presented last month, they only generated, I'm gonna try to do this off the top of my head, around $3,600 in fees for about 16 days during the month of January. And so we're on pace to do better than we did in January and earn a higher income from that. Finally, I have the treasurer's report. Total revenue collections for the city in January 2026. So we received our city tax payments. So this is going to look really high out of proportion. $417,881.64, bringing the city's year-to-date revenue collections to $1,763,309.04. Our total expenses for the city in January of 2026 was $181,300.60. The year-to-date expenses $1,621,533.84, with our account balances in the non-restricted funds coming out to $418,821.16. Our total restricted funds balance is $1,096,850.12, bringing a total amount that we have either restricted or non-restricted to $1,515,671.28. You'll also notice on the back, there's a second sheet attached to this. That is in reference to Resolution 03/2026. I'll be happy to dive into that and answer questions specifically tied to that resolution and that second paper in the closed session as the council decided. Otherwise, if there's any questions, I can take those now. Yes, ma'am.
The street sweeper, is that a new street sweeper or a new to us street sweeper?
It is a new street sweeper.
Okay.
There was a great deal of thought that went into whether or not we should acquire a new street sweeper or a new to us street sweeper. Of course, it's fine, the final decision at the council discretion. And we can explore in more depth than we have, a new to us one. But given the problems that we had with one that was, the current one that we had was a 2000 Pelican street sweeper, and some of the problems that we had with it were because it was new to us. And so we were trying to avoid some of those problems, and that's why we went with a new in general. Any other questions?
Street sweeper,
Yes, sir.
we're just now hearing about this. I heard about it before. Why wasn't the council given any indication the street sweeper blowing up or anything else?
Yes, sir. I believe I sent an email to the city
There was
council.
never an email. Already checked. We never got any emails.
I'll have to check my email on
I
file
did not.
for you, in particular.
Just so you know, I'm head of the grounds
Yes, sir.
and I never got one.
Yes, sir.
But I went there by chance and was there with the street sweeper.
Yes. I will check the email I have. I may have mistyped it, but I assure you an email did go out. I apologize that it didn't reach you directly.
Because, you know, something like that, you wonder if somebody got hurt, possibly burnt or something, or didn't follow protocols, just had to go to the hospital, be checked out or whatever.
I know I did receive that email.
Okay. Yeah, I did send an email on, I think it was 2 to 3 days after. Just wanted to make sure that the initial situation calmed down. We had the initial facts that I could present. I think most likely I just probably mistyped your email and whatnot, and so I will get with you afterwards if that's okay. Confirm that I have the right contact information for you and to ensure that doesn't happen again.
I got it on the 12th.
Okay. Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion to approve the monthly treasurer's report.
So.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Entertain a motion to pay the enterprise warrants and city warrants. That's been presented, and documented with your packet.
Which one you looking at?
The city warrants and the enterprise warrants. Did you get a copy of this?
I didn't get a copy of it.
All right. All right.
Oh, okay. My bad. Hey, take notes, John. Yeah, I got them.
Okay. These are the bills that, hang on. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Enterprise director.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm working through the list, but I handed out to everybody, starting with the water treatment plant. So I met down at the water treatment plant, with Mayor Carter last week. We took a correction last week. We took a walk through it just to see how things were coming along. It is on its final, phase. It's just about wrapped up. I know they're having a walkthrough on Wednesday to go over everything they've done. I'm gonna meet with the chief operator and myself. We're gonna meet with Miko and Martin Construction. There's some issues and some things that we want taken care of before we finalize on that. Hope that overall the paint turned out really well. It does look really good. It's a huge improvement. And they got the humidifier down there too, so that they're all the one that they got down there seems to be working as designed. Generator replacement, generators on hold as we work through, prepare for next year's budget. This is part of our year 2 in the 20-year plan. We're still on track. I just want to just let everybody know that we're kind of putting it on hold and working through on our budget to make sure we're able to do that in year 2. Wastewater treatment plant, the UV system was ordered, received, paid for. We're just waiting to get our final installation date that they can come down and install that. the main pump, control board that we approved the last meeting, it's been installed and that, bill has been paid and finalized also. The roof and HVAC replacement, the bid requests are in the newspaper. We've had a few contractors interested in these projects, on the roof and the HVAC system. We're running it till March 2nd and opening, publicly on March 6th. For distribution, Murray Street Ground Storage Tank, the mixer, it has been 100% completed and paid for, so that is finalized and cleared. The Visu Sewer analysis, we'll receive the information. I'll be putting a list of work to do for I&I study as we work through that list, prioritizing them. As for meters, we'll be changing the meters out before the next read date. After speaking with the distribution supervisor today, I know that they've already changed some. We'd like to get some more changed hopefully before we have to read meters. And we're hoping that we've dwindled our list down. So over the last 1.5 to 2 years, we've been rereading anywhere from 150 to 250 meters each month. And we have a system that is supposed to do that by drive-by. And so doing this will hopefully speed process up and allow us to focus our time on other projects and things that need to be done. South 30th Street, the shop replacement, it's kind of similar to the generator. I've been designing and putting things together, working with the city administrator, as they are, we kind of work in the same shop at the street department. We're not overly active on doing it, but I do want to leave it in the plans and as we progress, as time goes on, as that is part of our year 2 of the 20-year plan also. Street repairs, so Mid Rivers, I got in contact with them over the patch at 18th and Georgia. I know everybody has hit that. It's rough, I will say, I understand that. The guys, the street department and the distribution crew have been putting rock in there constantly to keep it to where it's as smooth as can be, but every time somebody comes off of 18th Street heading west, they throw it out, and the same was turning off at 18th Street heading west from both directions, north and south Georgia Street. I was speaking with Mid Rivers. They have agreed that if we prep that patch for them when they're here, they will patch that for us at no cost. So we're going to work when they're here doing all the other street paving. They're gonna just kind of let me know, and then we're gonna go out, saw cut it. We'll have it's concrete maybe the day before. I would say Georgia Street will at that intersection is going to be closed for a couple days. We have to let concrete cure, and then they'll top it with asphalt and seal it, and it'll just be like nothing ever happened there. Going on to some council approval requests that I have. So starting with the first one. Sewer main replacement at 5th Street. So I've received 3 estimates for the sewer pipe. They've all come back. We're looking around $3,500 for the complete sewer replacement there between South Carolina and North Carolina. I also received a bid from Mid Rivers to patch this street once completed. We're going to cut about 298-foot long patch, 4 foot wide, and give or take in the intersecting where the service lateral, so sewer laterals will tie and will have to be opened up just a tad bit more. They've come back with a price at $5,500 to have that patched. It's basically, by the time it's all said, that it'll basically be half of that 5th Street, but they're between South Carolina and North Carolina, and that will seal that deal and be completely patched up. With that being said, that total project is going to be around $9,000. I would like to get approval to pay for that out of our capital improvement from the council tonight.
Entertain a motion to approve. Move. The motion, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign.
No.
Take roll call, please.
Councilman Goff.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Holston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
No,
Councilman
we can do it
Chitcher,
cheaper.
Councilman Sutter,
Yes. All right, motion carries.
Going to the raw water intake telemetry, so our. Let me get to this. So last year we had hydrokinetics come in. We were having an issue with our communication between the water plant and our intake house, which is on the riverfront. Our existing system is not working at all. The guys are physically having to go from the water plant down. There's no communication between the two buildings other than, them driving down and visually seeing it. They're having to run the pumps in hand mode, which is not ideal because there's kind of no safety behind that in case something were to fault out or happen. The new system is in addition to what we currently have. So we currently run mission control system. This will just be adding a function at that intake house that will link to our mission controls. Two options are available. And after consideration with the chief operator at the plant and we would both recommend to do both options. I handed those out to the council to review. So basically, the base option, which is the $4,450, that is all of the work to get that set up. The option 2 was us actually pulling our mission control box from our Kelly Lane lift station and reusing it at the intake house. But we kind of decided against that for the simple fact that we would like to get that control system at Kelly Lane working also, so that we would continue to have remote access and visuals of what all of our booster stations, lift stations, and operation plant with the plant and how they're going. So adding that $3,490 to the $4,450. It would come up to a total of $7,940. And I'd like to get approval from the council to move forward with that tonight.
Council, you heard the request. Is there a motion? There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion?
When we talk about this during closed session, so we gotta check it, a minute to look it over and kind of digest.
Well, so this was brought up during our work study session and it all kind of ties into that. We can go over it right now. There's no rush on this.
Okay.
So basically, the telemetry allows the enterprise to keep real-time readings of all their fixed sites, the water intake. And you heard him mention the Kelly Lane pump lift station. Those are all critical systems. If they go down without the telemetry, no notification being received from the operators. They would solely only have the ability to physically go and look at the issue unless someone calls and says, hey, we have a sewer overrunning at Kelly Lane and so forth. And the system down at the water pump, where the intake is, that's been in service. It's out of service now. And it needs to be brought up in compliance. So the options was robbing parts from Kelly Lane and putting it down there, which would put Kelly Lane at a disservice in the future. We don't have telemetry right there right now, but we need telemetry right there in the future. So we'd be robbing Peter to pay Paul on that. So actually it would save, on the hardware by pulling that hardware and taking it down there. But ultimately, we'd still have to replace that hardware and get it on the telemetry system. So the cost, these are proprietary vendors that provide this service to the enterprise. That means there's not really options on where to go with it.
There's not.
Did I miss something?
No, we're not really able to get quotes and shop around unless we were going to change our system entirely. I will say, if you go to the last page, and I'm glad that you brought this up because I do want to share in the last two, the last two items I spoke with, Robert Morgan, which is our chief operator, and actually had it via email, and I actually, I copied and pasted verbatim exactly what he said. He says, with that installed, the clear well level upgrade integration will finally be in a place where every aspect of plant production will be in remote monitoring and alarm call out functions, which should reduce our potential points of failure, which fits our planned upgrade improvement and modernization plans. So that it basically just gives us total control, visual control of one monitoring system. And as we were to where before, we were running off of a PLC, an automated Automation Direct brand PLC and radio system. It's kind of like a old antenna on the side of on the front of the water pipe. You could see it, and it would direct communicate with that intake house. The issue is that it's not functioning, and we've already last year when we had that lightning strike on the intake house, and we had to replace some parts down there. It was roughly $4,500, I think, to replace that PLC, and it's not functioning correctly. And that doesn't even give us control with our mission to view that through our missions control system either.
Any other questions or discussion?
Where does this fall in, like the 20?
Unfortunately, it wasn't really part of our 20-year plan. It's one of those things that, it wasn't.
This is considered routine maintenance is what it would probably fall under,
Okay,
because it's not considered
It's not
a significant capital improvement.
okay.
I mean, to a lot of us, that's a lot of money, but for the enterprise, that's kind of a routine.
Okay. And where is this gonna come out of?
Capital improvement.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you heard the motion and the second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Going on to the clear well level sensing upgrade. This setup will replace our existing switch pedestal that we've been having issues with. So during the basement rehabilitation, I brought it up to the council during a work study and maybe even during a council meeting that we had some flooding issues in the basement. We put approximately 12 inches of water in there 2 separate times. The clear well level sensing upgrade would replace our existing mercury switch pedestal with a junction box, replace float, switch with fixed submersible transducer, and recreate level set point signals and relay outputs, a digital display, a device at the MCC, which is our mission controls. If you go down to the water plant, if you've never been to the water plant, I encourage you to go to the water plant. The chief operator, they've done a lot of work down there. They take really good care of it. Some of the things that we've done is some monitoring setup. So before they was running off of just a little laptop screen and then just a computer monitor. We bought 3 flat screen TVs where they can visually see everything that's going on in the enterprise system. That goes from the wastewater plant, the water plant, Kelly Lane lift station, West Industrial Drive, and our booster stations, which is at Northeast Street, and well, that's the only one. And then we can get on to our North 79 also. But this would allow them to, like I said, it would be complete and total control access, and they would be able to visually see it. It would also prevent those overflows from happening. If you're not familiar with that switch pedestal that's currently there, it was put in the plant when it was built 2000. So it's roughly 25 going on 26 years old, and it runs off of a wire that is wrapped around a pulley system, goes through the concrete floor and all the way to the clear well. So when you're filling the clear well, it moves that wire up and that float and allows that to shut off, let you know that the clear well is full, so you can shut it off. And it's currently sticking. They cleaned it, they've taken it apart, they've done just about everything they can. And when it does this, it floods the basement. And we, as the council's aware, we just put, or, getting ready to finalize, $299,000 worth of repairs to that basement. So flooding would not do it any justice. This is just a, basically a preventive measure, resolve the issues we currently have and updates outdated equipment. That total for that, sensor and setup through Hydrokinetics was $4,565.
Is this biddable?
No, because they're sole proprietor, they don't have, there's no way to shop around on.
You know, I understand the urgency of this.
Yeah.
But again, I've set it up in my head and on the fly, we're having to approve $21,000 in expenditures for the water plant. Now, I don't have a problem spending the money, but it'd be nice to have a heads up instead of getting us, like we're doing. I mean, I'm gonna vote for it because we need it. But we have to do a better job of communicating this stuff. And I know we maybe talked about it at the work session, but we get inundated with this stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're having to vote for $21,000 of expenditure.
Well, so, it's.
I understand the urgency, but I'm not an engineer.
At the end of the day, to be honest with you, it's not an urgency. We don't have to do it.
Well, hold on,
Um,
hold on.
But we do because we're spending
Hold on.
$450,000 on.
issue.
Hold on here. Before we'll give this consideration, I want the council to kind of be aware of this. We are putting in $300,000 to take care of, y'all seen pictures of what it made. The council, we did the exact same thing in 2017, because it looked exactly like it did when we seen it back in 2017, and then they spent about $400,000 into it. And the condition happened again.
Yeah.
Because of maintenance and upkeep and keeping up with these stuff. So these maintenance costs and updates are needed to keep it fresh and keep it new and keep it sustainable. So, there was a downfall, a period of time when we don't want, after putting in $300,000 into it, we don't want it to ever look like that again. And these systems that need repaired or replaced is going to be required or perfected or improved is going to be a needed expense. And I agree. And Clinton's done a good job as far as giving us heads up on all this stuff. But that device down there measures how much water's in that clear well, and it triggers, hey, stop pumping. Otherwise, it's going to overflow that basement. Well, it failed a couple times. And that didn't happen 90 days ago. That didn't happen last year. That just happened recently. So we're on it. We want to get it fixed.
I agree, we gotta do it. Okay, that's not the issue. I just wish we could do this a little more systematically instead of having to do it
Just like most.
like this.
Worrying about getting that.
And that's all I'm gonna say. I voiced my objection, and that's all I'm gonna say.
There's too many people talking.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
I asked him if he knew the expected lifetime of this.
Well, the last one, 25, 26 years.
And of course, this is going from,
Now, the next question,
yes,
4565. If it floods again, what's the damage?
to
What's it gonna cost?
this setup here,
What's it
or
gonna,
to the basement.
if this is not done and it floods again, what's the damage control?
Well,
What's it gonna cost to fix it again?
$299,000.
$4,000 seems kind of cheap
I mean-
if it's gonna flood again,
And I think during the LT2 project, which occurred in 2015, 16, 17, it was, 400 some thousand. I think the only difference then was they added the UV system to that because it was part of I think it could be a client. So, basically, in a sense, I hate to say this, but to the citizens of Louisiana, we put $400,000, $500,000, $600,000,
and I
$800,000.
I wish, just like they said, wish we could have put that into the 20-year plan. But we didn't know.
I'll tell you this much, I'll speak for myself. Doing a 20-year plan, kind of not to get too much off topic, but to do a 20-year plan, there was a and I understand, I won't say that I don't disagree, but there was a lot of backlash to a 20-year plan. If we would have put everything that we needed to put into a 20-year plan, the city, these people couldn't afford water bills.
Right.
So we had to pick our most important, things that we needed to operate. As for everything else, they fall under, that's why we have a capital improvement, line item, because they would fall under capital improvement. You can budget a $300,000 item all day long, but capital improvement's never gonna pay for it, as we only put roughly $5,000 a month in there. Versus a $5,000 item, 1 month it's paid for with capital improvement. You turn around and you wanna pay, do a $300,000 upgrade out of capital improvement. You've got a lot of, 3 years or 4 years, and that's hopes that you don't have any other faults or issues with your within the enterprise itself.
Call the question, entertain motion to project for 4565 for the clear level sensing upgrade. First, council, is there a second?
Give a second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Please, chief.
Mayor, council members. Just want to start by going over a few stats. Copy of the report. For the month of January, we responded to 259 total calls for service. They hit on a few top ones. We had 53 traffic stops, 39 animal complaints, 16 informational calls, 13 suspicious and wanted persons, 9 traffic complaints, and 9 medical calls. And then provided you all as well with a report on the police reports that were generated, case activity. Several of those investigations remain open, including some cases involving enticement of a minor and narcotics violations. Then I wanted to touch on the flock cameras. We have 5 of those that are now scheduled with the technician for install. So they should be installed relatively quickly. And then we have 1 camera that's still pending state approval that they're working on getting through that to get scheduled. The Missouri Blue Shield status, we're coming up on time to apply for it again, which we have every intention on doing and should not be an issue for us to gain again this year. Deadline for it is in June. And then I want to touch briefly on our talks we've had regarding developing a canine unit for here in town. As we know from previous discussions, I've talked with Breeder. Breeder does not anticipate a cost in us getting the dog. The biggest hurdle to getting the dog is getting a cage for the car. We've checked around trying to save the city some money and do it at no cost or extremely cheap, and finding a cage that somebody's not using in another department. We can try to obtain things like that, but we've had no luck with that. So I've included in the report the cost of a new canine cage, which is $3,821.39, and then to have it installed would be roughly around $1,000. Now we're working on fundraising opportunities, things like this, to help pay for that. I'm just bringing it up tonight because I know there's been a push for it. I didn't know how the council would like me to proceed on that. I'd like to have it there immediately, but I know that's not in our budget, so that's why I'm bringing that up. So if everybody just wants to mull that over and
$1,000 to install a cage in a car?
These places that you get, they don't do it cheap. We had them do.
You get the cage, I'll put it in. I mean,
You can do it. I'm happy to do it.
seriously, it's kind of like with the paving of the street, 250 feet of $5,000 of asphalt.
Hey, chief, dealing with the canine, one thing for future reference for the council for consideration. These are pretty much set costs, one-time expenses. can you, whenever you progress this in the future, go ahead and figure out what the annual cost would be for training, man hours, taking care of the animal, that they'll, just the overall general and average budget would be for that.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah, honestly, I'd like to see this as a budget item.
and in talking about trainer, the initial training would be included in him for him providing the dog, because he's got people that fund him and provide them small departments and things like that. Biggest cost after that would be vet and food. And I think
Because I know
we can work
our
out some
previous
things.
K-9 program, we paid a lot of labor hours to an officer for taking care of the dog. That may have been inappropriate at the time, but I just want to make sure we're on track.
Feel there were some mistakes made with that, and we'll leave it at that. And we don't anticipate any huge increase in hours spent to make that happen. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Chief. Council, are there any committee reports or updates? Any old business?
Oh, I do have some, I'm sorry, somebody has a tree that's behind their house, it's dead, it's falling, it's leaving debris. They want to know what their steps are to find out how they do it with it, deal with it. I told them the best thing probably would be to get Charlie, I don't know if this is correct or not, to get Charlie to look at it. And then call an arborist or whatever, however you pronounce that word, and see if it can be deemed as a dangerous tree.
Yeah, that's good direction.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Fire Chief. I did. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you. I didn't want to come back out. So some department updates. 4 of our members went to Winter Fire School in Columbia. They all had great things they learned, and they've kind of been talking and teaching the other members about the updates and different ways of doing things. We did a complete department service on all of our small gas engines. This included leaf blowers, chainsaws, generators, and many other pieces of equipment that we use. We recently escorted the Louisiana Clock and Swim team out of Louisiana as they headed to state. That was last week. And then incident response data, we had 25 medical calls, 6 fire-related calls, and 1 special event, which was the escort for the swim team out of Louisiana.
That was a hell of an escort, by the way.
Thank you. All right. New business, bringing up Bill 7249. Entertaining motion and give it a first reading. I have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right. Take a roll call, please.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Polston,
Here. Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell, Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Bill 7249, first reading, an ordinance amending section 235.010 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Louisiana, Missouri, relating to definitions within the solid waste management program. Passed and approved first reading. Entertain a motion for a second reading. So moved. First and second is there any discussion? Hearing none, take a roll call, please.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Polston,
Yes.
Councilman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell, Councilman Sutter,
Yes. Bill 7249, an ordinance amending section 235.010 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Louisiana, Missouri, relating to definitions within the solid waste management program. Passed and approved and ordained this day. Word. So next, Bill 7250, adopting ordinances. Before I open the floor for motion, I just want to make sure that everyone understands what this is. This is an annual review by E-code in the state of Missouri statutes. Make sure all of our ordinances comply. A summary section of the changes that have been made, and Mary is online. She's reviewed this. And what you have before you is based on modifications and changes that she found errors on their part. So I'll entertain a motion. So moved. Second. Take a roll call, please.
Councilman Dodd,
Yes.
Councilman McCourtis,
Yes.
Councilman Colston,
Yes.
Councilman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yeah.
Councilman Twitchell, Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Bill 7250, an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the city of Louisiana, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinance not included therein except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinance, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective. First reading, entertaining motion for a second reading.
So.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Dodd,
Yes.
Councilman McCourtis,
Yes.
Councilman Colston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yep.
Councilman Twitchell, Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Bill 7250, an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the city of Louisiana, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinance not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinance, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective. Passed and read 2 times, passed and approved and ordained this day. Any miscellaneous business?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Last weekend, the Louisiana High School girls swim team participated in the state meet down in St. Charles and finished, I believe, 16th out of the entire state in the meet. We had one state champion. We had a relay that did really, really well and placed really high. These girls are 7 girls. It's a combined team between Clopton and Louisiana, so they have enough people to actually field the team. And I would like to see the council, maybe at our next work session, come up with some kind of certificate recognizing that achievement. Those girls work hard. It's unfortunate that there are only about 6 of us from town that were even there to cheer them on. And I would just like to see, we recognize football, basketball, and all that. And the one girl that won the state championship is probably going to swim at University of Nebraska. A couple of the other girls are involved with AAU or USA Swimming, which is you got to be pretty damn good to be considered for that. And I would just like to see at our next work session, maybe come up with something we can have them come in here and we can recognize it.
All right, sounds good. Any comments from the public on anything I discussed in the meeting?
Getting a new street sweeper. What made it burn up? They just don't burst into flame by themselves. I mean, what caused it to catch on fire?
Undetermined.
And why do we need a police dog? That's a lot of money. A lot of money for a police dog. Police department's done got enough raises and done got enough for the citizens. I think we can wait on the damn police dog for a while.
Anybody else
Yep.
from the public?
Clinton, I would like to personally thank Buick Fire Department for the ultimate experience for our after prom bingo. It went over really well. Not real sure why the police department didn't involve themselves, but as a community event, police department or the fire department did, and we really appreciate it. Secondly, Mr. Gott, I think when you're speaking to people, you need to watch your tone because I was impeached over asking questions and you are very brief.
Yes.
All right, entertaining a motion to go to closed session.
So moved.
Second, Tim. Allowing the city council, the city administrator, city clerk. Any discussion? Hearing none, on take your roll call, please.
Councilman Scott,
Yes.
Councilman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Colston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yep.
Councilman Twitchell, Councilman Sutter.
Yes.
All right, we are out of open session, going into closed session. We're back in open session. Discussion of possible action by the city council may be proposed during a closed session. Want the public to be aware that resolution 03-2026 was duly approved and passed. Any media clarification? Motion for adjournment. So moved. Any accepted? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We are adjourned.
I'll say tomorrow.